Sit back, relax, and keep your eyes to the skies.
Greetings, folks, and welcome to S4, where we talk about the serious issues involving paranormal and current events, coming to you live from the S4 headquarters in the heart of the Cascade Mountains, here in the studio in Cape Horn, Washington. And yes, I'm laughing because tonight's topic's just, we don't know what the hell's going to happen. So tonight, it's December 27th. 2021 is looming over us. What is it bringing? Better days? We can hope so, but I don't hold my breath. We have bombings in Tennessee, a mass shooting in Chicago, and still people dying of COVID. We have a new planet discovered just like Earth 3 light years away. Will we find Bigfoot?
300.
Huh?
300
light years away. Will we find Bigfoot, or rather will he come out, or is he taking pictures of us this year? Will some random paranormal group discover the meaning of life? Who knows? What's our panel think? So tonight we have the full panel. We have Joe, we have Ed, we have Barry, we have Arnold. Everybody's going to be interjecting tonight.
Yeah, buddy.
So how are we all doing tonight? Are we excited about 5 days from now?
Nope.
I love the response. I do. Yeah. I mean, I've been having nightmares. Well, shit, I took a nap before the show and had a nightmare. I was like, oh, come on now. Leave me alone.
I am.
You're excited?
Yeah.
I am.
Guys,
Really?
with all the community announcements out there and everything that's been going on, friend, New Year's Eve is going to be so wonderful with all the pretty lights in the skies as they release the missiles. Guys, come on.
Hey, so read the meme. Hold on. Y'all got to hear this meme because I got it from Sean today and Cole got it from one of his friends in Canada earlier today. And it's great.
It says, 10 years from now, you'll put on a jacket and find a mask in the pocket. Oh man, what a weird year that was, you'll chuckle to yourself. And then you'll pick up your machete and continue across the wasteland, keeping to the shadows to avoid the roving gangs of cannibal raiders.
I love it. How you doing, Tim and J-Ron? Are you guys ready for 2021?
Dun dun dun!
Yeah. Drum roll.
And hey, JoJo.
And PBR.
Yeah,
PBR's
PBR. Oh, the chat room's getting
Man,
full.
everybody's in there.
Yeah, hell yeah, it's 2021 show.
Yeah.
You know, hey, anytime we have the end of the year show, it's boring because you're like, is disclosure going to happen? What kind of ghost pictures are we going to get? Is Bigfoot going to come out? But no, we're coming into probably the end of the worst year in American history, into probably a just as bad year, if not maybe worse. It has potential of being better, but I'm not holding my breath. Folks, we had a bombing.
I would like to interject there.
Go ahead.
The worst year in American history, really? Are we really going to go there?
No.
Can we really go there? Like
we can't.
I would say 1941 might have something to say about that.
I'm sure. But come on. What did we have in
1941 wasn't bad until about December.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh, don't tell me that. 2020 is
But let's see
December,
here.
bro.
Let's
We still have
analyze-
5 days left. We can hope.
Let's analyze 2020 in a nutshell. So we have a pandemic that's kind of like Spanish flu. same effects. We have murder hornets.
Yeah, that was weird. Sorry.
And I think they got them all. The one nest.
I don't know.
They got one.
Did you have a dream or a premonition?
They're everywhere, man. They're everywhere. We got murder hornets
No, you
for
gotta say
days,
it right.
seeds coming from.
You got to say that right. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Yeah, I can't remember what.
Run for the hills.
The murder squirrel's what you have to worry about.
Oh, I haven't seen
God.
them yet.
That would be terrifying. You have a murder squirrel on your porch. Ugh.
I've got one over here.
All I gotta say is we all made it around the board of Jumanji once. Round 2.
Oh, yes.
Oh God, digital.
No, the second
Jumanji.
movie was just as bad. And yeah, they just said, don't forget, we had the fires at the beginning of the pre-pandemic.
We had a couple of really bad.
Again, have to interject. I think Joe would agree that those lasted for a lot longer than pre-pandemic.
Yeah. Well, California, but here in Washington, we got all the smoke.
Well, Australia had the worst fires, and was it 43 million acres or something?
Yeah,
right.
That
Australia
was in
is
January in Australia.
ridiculous.
People tend to forget about that, and then, well, hell, we burned up down here in California for 4 or 5 months.
And before that was Brazil.
Yeah.
In
It was
Australia.
all the same time.
Chernobyl
And
was on
Chicago
fire.
Oh, yeah. Chernobyl was on fire. Yeah, we need more radiation, and Chernobyl catches on fire. Yeah.
And then the largest fire was in Congo. Nobody covered that one.
No.
And there was
No. The Amazon.
we all forgot about the little cicada thing happening too. That was insane.
Yep.
Well,
Murder
next-
cicadas?
Well, that was a walk in the park. Are you kidding me?
No, next year.
but you know, it's funny because
yeah.
in the middle of all this stuff going on, all of a sudden you get this little blurb from the Pentagon saying, hey, we have an alien spacecraft. And nobody even flinched. Like, really?
Nobody
Well, that's
cared.
because they were in that state of okay. What else do we got going?
Oh, talk about timing, you know. Everyone bitches about disclosure for what, 5 years now? Mm-hmm. And we're in the middle of a pandemic and fires and this and that, and they decide to come out and say, hey, look, there's a UFO in the Pentagon. Okay, cool. Okay, next. Yeah.
No joke,
Let's
right?
talk some more about something else.
Yeah, nobody even flinched.
Wait
Not
until we
even in
find
the-
out that the Pentagon is a UFO.
It kinda looks like one.
Woo, 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 woo.
But you know what amazed me is nobody flinched, not even in the UFO community.
No, nobody cared.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I mean,
it
you know,
amazed me.
Of anybody that would be excited that the Pentagon came out and announced it, I would expect it from all the ufologists out there. But nope.
Well, PBR just said the TTSA just blew up. Like, do you mean another truck or what?
Oh God.
Like, oh no, but like, what does that mean?
That's the
Because I haven't heard anything about them in a while.
TTSA.
Not really.
So for listeners that aren't familiar with them, that is To the Stars Academy with Tom DeLonge.
Wait, what? To the Stars blew up.
Wow.
Yeah, is he talking
God.
literally or what?
I thought you were talking about the guys that check you before you get on an airplane.
No, that's just TSA.
All right, okay. No, three.
Oh,
found
3 of the
out.
founding members just quit.
You know, we
Oh, okay.
we actually
Really?
had after they released those videos in
Dennis!
2007.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Dennis in the chat room in a long time. So 3 of the members just quit?
Of course it did. It's gone. It's garbage. It's like, oh, hey, let's go to Blue Horizons now.
But you know, to be honest with you, when they first opened up, they were done when they opened.
Yeah.
I never did. They were a sham from the start. Anytime you've got all these highfalutin government officials, retired or not, that are banked. I mean, they're full of money. And all you can do is tell your followers that if you give us $100 and we'll tell you what we're going to expose. And how many millions of dollars did they make from the
They made
beginning?
tons.
Because everyone thought they were going to be the real deal, and they weren't. They never were. I just think it was a cash cow. That's all it was from the beginning, because they never did find anything. they never did throw out any, smoking gun information. They never did anything.
Yeah.
Well, they put out the 2017. Lou Alzonzo came out with the 2017. And then at the first part of the year, the government said, oh, we're releasing our videos. It's true. And then we have the one that's, oh, we have one. And then we have the head of Israel's space security program say, oh, U.S. has an agreement with and joins the ETs in a galactic federation, right? And, so I guess they kind of cut TTSA out at that point.
Oh, right.
Well, why leave the middleman? You
But
can go
honestly, Elizondo was kind of the glue anyway, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was.
So Elizondo didn't need TTSA for the beginning.
No.
Yeah, he honestly didn't.
He had his own story, but I think that he was actually, because what they did was they took away Bigelow. Bigelow was getting old and the whole 9 yards. They took away Bigelow. They needed somebody to put in that place. I think that it was combined with the government. Elon Musk is also doing a lot in space now and everything else. So here we go.
Bezos.
I was about to say, do you think Elon Musk?
Bozo?
Bozo, yeah, that guy.
Do you think Elon Musk was the chosen replacement for Bigelow?
Yeah, I do. I actually do. Mm-hmm. I think it smells just that way, and that's exactly. I mean, Bigelow was involved with all the stuff he had back in the day. I remember when the FAA said if you're a pilot, you had to report your sightings to Bigelow, and then nothing ever happened about it. And he never got his programs off the ground. And Musk comes along and he's got satellites busting all over the place, which allows them to. I'm sure that there's also a way that the government's wrapped up into that, where they can use.
He's getting us back up at the space station, for God's sake.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Reusable rocketry.
Yeah, and have you seen all the stuff? 2021, the year of the Space Force.
Well, that's one of my questions for tonight. Do you think the aliens are going to come down and expose themselves in 2021?
No.
Hey, I got to tell you something. From what all I'm hearing from all the abductees that I've dealt with and the dreams that those people are having, let me tell you something. Whew. And they're all talking 2021. They've been talking about it before the COVID stuff started in March. It's been going all year long. And, I mean, if we have anything like they're dreaming about, what they're seeing, and they're all talking about the year 2021, who knows what we're going to get, because they're talking about fire in the skies, things burning up around, everything. So, just devastation.
Okay, going on the fringe just a little bit. If you look at Dante Sartori's book, remember the Alien War is supposed to be from 2017 to 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
so,
exactly.
I mean, there's a lot pointing to this year from a lot of different areas.
Oh, God.
And we're not even talking about, prophets. I don't even go by prophets.
Yeah.
You don't need to.
I used to see those things where the prophets talk about 2021. Yeah. Have you seen one of those yet? I haven't seen any of them.
No, they don't need to. 2020 is bad enough.
Well, actually, the Mayans, they said 2012, and I think one of them was just dyslexic, and it's supposed to be 2021.
Well, right, exactly.
No, they just forgot about leap year. We're good.
20, no. Anthony asked me tonight, what was up with 2012? I'm like, well, that was supposed to be the end of the world, but you were born and you saved it.
Oh, yes.
Well, okay. What?
Okay.
Hey,
that's what you told me.
The Oreo cookie looked a whole lot like the Mayan calendar.
right?
Don't forget that we now have the government has their own thing looking into UFOs because of the Oversight Committee and Mark Rubio. And that's coming up in the first part of the spring, isn't it? Aren't they supposed to come back and give all the reports and all that kind of stuff in early spring?
You know, that almost sounds good that the government's going to be looking into that, but seeing how they get things done or don't get things done, I don't have any faith in that at all.
Yeah, I don't have any faith in that either.
No.
Yeah.
Like,
So, I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, it's kind of like, oh, that's our saving grace. I mean, oh, yeah, right.
Like the government's so successful at everything else they've done.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Oh. So, you kind of brought up the alien the abductees and what they're seeing. What do you see from the MUFON level as far as UFOs? Are sightings starting to pick up? Are they remaining the same? What do you project for 21?
Well, MUFON's changing their website around and everything else, and they're really looking at a strong 2021. They're going to make some big changes. I got a report from the director of MUFON, the captain, Dave McDonald, and looks like things are coming around good with that. We're changing the CMS a little bit. We're doing some things that need to be done. So I look for MUFON to be pretty well prepared. I think we're over the bad hump of 2020, especially with the Jan Harzan deal that came on, and we're trying to put it all together and move in the right way. But, you know, this last month has picked up as far as sightings. You know, when I look on the internet and everything else, we talk about how the internet is saying 2020 was a fantastic year for more UFOs reported and everything else. I just think it's because people were inside, they're confined. They go outside more, they look around, and they were able to see something. Now, we had some dull reporting at a certain time. It's no secret, but now it's picking back up again. I've had 3 or 4 cases in the last 3 days. So,
oh wow,
pretty interesting.
Huh.
So I've got a group of people that got really titillated about the Galactic Federation. They're called the Sarsi group, the light workers, and I'm in their groups, and they were shocked and surprised, and they're saying that they had their big flash, and they're supposed to be having their messages coming down. That 2021 is supposed to be the year for them to ascend. They're going to make their energy they're trying to put into is ascending to the heavens, but there's supposed to be a battle with the Dracos. They're reporting this. I'm relatively new to all this. I'm catching up to you guys. I'm figuring this stuff out for myself.
So
I find it interesting.
I get scared anytime I hear a group of humans talking about ascending because I automatically think of Heaven's Gate.
Oh, I do too.
Yep.
I mean, I lost friends in People's Temple. Only by the grace that I was under 18 years old that I did not end up there because of the church in Chicago. Oh, no, I learned my lesson very early in life. People are crazy. Ministers can be very influential and type of things. But yeah, no, it's I am absolutely afraid of the return of the 70s religious cult. I am really seeing the signs of that kind of in the street where you have the kids selling flowers. If you want to know one thing I see in 2021, it's that. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And it's around UFOs. And I think everybody's so much. I think this is a year UFOs catch fire in the public eye in a big way.
I think there's going to be a lot of UFO movies coming out also.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I think UFO is going to catch fire, but in the literal sense, not in the. I don't know. I really don't. It's going to be an interesting year because it's going to be an interesting it's going to be an exciting year for S4 because we get to report it all.
Yeah.
With our awesome panel probably every week, unless we have a special guest. What the hell? Stop playing with fire, Cole.
Jesus
You're going to catch
Christ,
the studio
turn
on
that
fire. It's not 2021 yet. Oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
No faith, I tell you. No faith.
Oh. So what do you think of... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, don't forget to run your ads for Joe's new pointy sticks for 2021.
Right? Are they made of titanium? Oh, wait, no. He's got the 2021 plutonium grade explosive tip pointy sticks, don't you?
The titanium tips,
There
yes.
you go.
Hey.
I was still working on the depleted uranium, but they should be coming out soon.
Stop talking, Joe. God damn it, that's an admittance of guilt.
Oh,
Quit it.
we're going to have the black SUVs pulling up in your driveway now. It's okay. I have a new... I'm going to make a badge. Homeland Security, don't worry, I've got it covered. You guys can leave now. Anyway.
Now we're impersonating people. Great.
No. So, the first hour, I want to stick with UFOs and abduction. Do we see abductions? We don't talk about new abductions. We don't hear about new abductions.
Yeah, they're on the increase, so I will tell you that much.
Oh, wait. PBR wants to know, will somebody replace TTSA in 2021? Or do you think the replacement for TTSA is actually...
Space Force.
ATIP.
Oh.
No, there'll be something new.
Well, there's always been something in the... we've got the Pharmacology desk at the Pentagon that investigates paranormal... all of that kind of stuff. They've always had that. They had the aviary back many years ago. Some of the people that were in ATIP were in the aviary. There are still going to be people out there that are working to disinvolve stuff. I'm working on a new group trying to put together UFO Hunters of America. And working on that. So hopefully maybe that may pop up sometime in 2021. So you never know what's going to happen. But right now, I think the government's got it locked up. This government ordeal since Congress has come in and forced the government to study UFOs, basically. In a public way. I'm kind of interested to see what comes out of what they put on their desk in that time, because and see how much of it's redacted. I don't know, but it's supposed to be for the public, so who knows?
Yeah.
What kind? Do we have any new UFO documentaries or shows coming out that we know of?
I'm checking on that right now.
Excellent, because I'm assuming Ancient Aliens is still going.
Yeah, it'll be like season 205.
Yeah.
There was the group, they had their first season last year. There was a new group of Bigfoot hunters. They're coming back.
Bigfoot second hour.
4 of them. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad.
We'll talk about cryptids in the
this
second
time.
hour, though, and we'll bring that back up.
I kind of like Expedition X with John Gates. With Josh Gates. I don't know if anybody else watches that show, but
I watch it.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good. I think I'd like to see more of them this year and get into some other subjects because they've covered some pretty interesting stuff. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Go ahead, and I'll keep on looking for.
Well, let me just throw out congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks. They cinched the NFC West title this week, like at 2:00. Great job, guys. We'll see you in the playoffs. I'm fucking excited.
We are going back to the Super Bowl.
We got a week up. Wow.
No, we are. We're going back to the Super Bowl. Come on now.
Friend.
We got to have something good in 2021 to talk about.
Oh, that's
Seahawks, back to the Super Bowl.
Hey, can you believe that Alien is coming back? The Awakening 2021.
What?
Man,
No way.
No.
Yes.
No. Sigourney Weaver's has been. Go away.
It's coming back. It's
Wow.
coming back.
But then again, if Sylvester Stallone can redo every frickin' movie he's ever made, so can she.
Skyline, 3S. Official trailer's out. What else we got? Sci-fi movies. I'm trying to check these out, and we've got the release of Phenomena coming out soon. The new documentary. It was supposed to come out in 2020, the end of 2020. I haven't seen it yet on anywhere. Has anybody else?
What's that?
Nope.
Phenomena. It's the I believe Phenomena is the Fox. What's his name? Shoot, can't think of his name. He's the one that did. Shoot. They know what they saw, or something like that. Series. He did one or two of those. I think he's coming out with the new one called Phenomena. So that should be out shortly if it's not already out. And let me see on TV.
Huh. I'll have to look that one up. To be honest, I haven't even kept track of Ancient Aliens. I kind of lost them after Cole saw that one episode about them talking down to the Native American chief. It's like, really? No. Bye.
We have been watching The Universe on Netflix every night to go to sleep to. And it's amazing, because I'm learning.
In your sleep?
Yes. But then she got bored of it, so we started watching The Cosmos. It is literally the same script.
It is.
Like the guy is saying the same things the other guy says on the other show.
Well, there's only so much you can talk about when you don't know enough about something.
But in the same sentences. It's like they handed the script to him and said, "Here, just use this.
Remake it."
Oh, so, hold on. Going on a different topic. What did everyone get for Christmas?
I can tell you what I didn't get is a new snowmobile.
I'm so sorry.
We didn't get a striker either.
Right?
But, yeah, well, that'll come. So I got a tactical machete. And a dragon knife to put on the wall, which, it can be effective off the wall if it has to be. But, and a survival kit, and a shotgun thermos from Cole.
Oh, excellent.
I got meat. Have you guys ever heard of the company Mythical Meats?
That's right.
They make different types of jerky, and they are listed as
Unicorn,
Chupacabra, the Griffin, all different kinds of ones. They got Bigfoot.
Bigfoot jerky.
Yeah. Like everything from your cryptid list. So, friend, we're
I think they even have the Kraken.
Yeah, they have Kraken.
Mm-hmm.
Kraken meat.
Kraken meat.
Oh, I'm going to have to look for that.
Yeah,
it was really cool.
July 20th, we're gonna have to open up that Kraken meat.
We're gonna have to contact them and see if they'll be an S4 sponsor.
Yeah. Oh,
it's a little bit harder now that you said it on the show, jackass. Jesus.
We'll be calling you Mythical Meat.
I actually got a dragon knife also.
Did you?
Nice.
It's sitting on top of my that's a very cool dragon knife, and I also got my son brought home a new puppy.
I
saw that. He's a cutie.
He's a puppy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I got a steampunk pistol machete and a lot of blankets and pillows and all kinds of fluffy things.
You got a fluffy blanket, didn't you?
I got some seriously fluffy blankets. I was so excited.
And I also did get a wonderful thermometer. Because one of the first questions me and my dad always talk about is, what's your weather like? Mm-hmm. And our thermometer outside the house currently only has Fahrenheit, and I'm not good at the conversion, so he's asking...
Google for it.
That's right.
Google does that.
Well, but he asked me what the temperature is. I'm like, 65, and he's like, holy crap, it's hot there.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta use that Celsius thermometer.
That's where you say, hey, Google, convert Fahrenheit to Celsius for me. Yeah. Make her do her job.
It's doing it.
It's doing it.
Exactly.
I did get my 2020 survival kit. I've got a gigantic bottle of Elijah Craig bourbon with handle size.
Very nice.
No matter how bad 2020 gets, I'll be okay.
Right? It gets cold, you just take a nip and you warm right on up.
I know. That's it.
Not really. Don't do that, folks. What did you get, Arnold?
Oh, we got stuff into us, chocolates and other goods, and primarily our health. I mean...
Yeah. Okay, that's right.
Our health has been kind of fluctuating on both ends, and I kind of got a Christmas present early from a plastic surgeon that I went to see that said I didn't have to have plastic surgery.
Good. That's actually more important.
Yeah, no, I was sitting in his office and he walked in and he kind of smiled and he goes, I don't have to do anything with you. I'm not going to cut out. I'm like, okay. Let me walk out. Yeah. That was a big thing. But other than that, a bunch of people just being, kind to us still and being there for us when we've been going through this stuff. That was the biggest thing. Like I said, now I'm going through some other stuff. So, yes, if it's not one of us, it's both of us.
Right.
But other than that, no, we had people that sent us stuff because we couldn't go. Usually we go to a friend's house. The week before, we went over to see our son, and had dinner with him and his girl. So that was cool. But, we stayed home for Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Yeah, you were in Eastern Washington, I think, weren't you?
Yeah, and Ellensburg. And you kind of bring up stuff of what's been going on. My son was telling us something the other night. He doesn't live very far from Central Washington University where he works, and he gets off at midnight, and some nights he has to walk home, which is a long distance. And I guess one night he was walking home, and the cops stopped him because he's a young kid out with a backpack, right, walking the street. And they stop him, start giving him the what for, and they ask him if he has any weapons on him, and he goes, which ones?
Whoops.
I have pointy sticks.
And he goes, why? And he's like, they start questioning a little bit more, and they're like, well, what are you doing? He goes, I'm just walking home, and, well, you got this, but yeah, he, while we were there, they had a shooting downtown Ellensburg by a gas station where his girlfriend works, that a guy walked in. They told him to put a mask on. The guy went back out, grabbed his pistol, and started shooting into the gas station.
Jesus.
Yeah.
A week before, they had a 15-year-old get shot over there. Eastern around the college is just getting kind of chaotic, and I think the first part of the year is going to be just that much worse over there and around because of what is going on there and around where we live and stuff.
That's why our topic is just that kind of stuff next week, as far as what do you do when you're being shot at and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
The world's gone nuts, man. Everywhere.
Third hour, we are actually going to talk about civil unrest and what do we expect as far as that goes for 2021. Joe, what did you get for Christmas?
Well, I got myself. I replaced the parka that I've been wearing every day for the last 30 years with a new one.
Nice.
I'm still trying to get used to that.
What brand?
I guess people know me because I got 3 giant bottles of Bacardi, and I got a card that says that somebody got me a couple of my pillows, but they haven't got here yet. They're in the mail. They're coming.
No, because they're my pillows.
They're my pillows.
No, mine.
Haven't got them yet.
Because they're at my house.
I haven't got my Christmas present yet.
Well, you cut your beard too, didn't you?
Me?
Yeah. We saw your family picture. You shaved you trimmed your beard. Oh my God!
You
now
still can't see my neck though.
What? Oh. So, what about you, Ed? What did you get for Christmas?
This is the 10th year in a row. I received nor gave a single Christmas gift. For 10 years ago, I pledged not to give or receive gifts anymore. I was just tired of it. And my people around me, and my people honor that. They have gifts. They do all of that around me. But I tell people, spend the money on yourself. What could you possibly get me? So I've been that way for a long time.
Okay, everybody. Next year, we're all going to send Ed a card.
That's messed up.
Glitter card.
What?
A glitter card.
A glitter card.
Oh God, those glitter bombs! No, I got too many of those glitter bombs.
Oh,
we probably should have asked for his address before we said that.
Right. I'll get it. Oh, all right. The perfect, and as long as people are honoring it, then excellent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, we won't send you a card.
Well, wink, wink.
So getting back to, and I don't think we really answered it. Have you seen a spike in new abductions, Barry?
Yeah. I've gotten some pretty strange calls on abductions. I've got a continuation of abductions. We're going to have not to tout a show. We're going to do a show Tuesday. I was going to have it dark, but I have a guy that's been an abductee, and he's got some information, and he wants to bring it out. So I'm going to do a show on Tuesday night, just to have him on. We're going to talk about some of the things that he has found out and going through, so it should be a gangbuster. But yeah, we're seeing a lot of abductees. It seems like a lot of the cases, in fact, one of the cases that we had this week was a new abduction case also. So abductions are still going on. And just a quick word. I've got to tell you 2 movies that I just saw that are coming out. Ghostbusters: The Afterlife is coming out in 2021. Not like the female ones. And we're also going to have, there was a great comic book guy that Morbius. I don't know if you've ever remember that comic book. He was a vampire.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. And,
nice.
That's supposed to be coming out. So that ought to be an awesome one. Tomb Raiders 2. I'm just fending down through this, and golly. Yeah.
Huh, they changed the name of that.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't originally called Afterlife.
Okay.
Oh.
So a lot of the new Ghostbusters are actually filmed in Cole's hometown in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, actually, because of who my dad is in the town, he had the chance to ride in the Ecto-1. And
excellent.
He gave it up to go to a little 6-year-old kid. But
That's cool.
it is remade Cadillac, but it actually has a Hemi in it.
Nice.
Yeah, like he said underneath that hood, it is gorgeous. So, then his best friend is actually an extra in the movie.
Really?
Yeah, he said it was the most annoying extra job that he's ever done. They made him walk across the street 30 times.
Well, yeah.
That's all he did.
Yeah. It gets really annoying when the director doesn't like just the way something's done. I've done that.
Well, and Ace isn't that skinny, and he's fairly old. So...
Oh wow! The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do is coming out June.
Oh, they have a new. Yeah.
New Conjuring.
A new Conjuring and a new. Go ahead.
Yep, June 4th, and it's also going to be simultaneously just released on HBO and Max.
Oh, no way!
So,
Did you hear something about a new Annabelle? Or is that
that is the Conjuring?
Okay.
Yeah.
It will
kind of
feature
strings
the
them
more of
together.
the origin story of her.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. So
Aren't they coming out with Mila Jovovich and Goat or Monster Hunters?
Yes.
Ooh.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that one.
That's a must see. As long as you don't say another Resident Evil, because Resident Evil was overdone. I mean,
Well,
but
how many are there?
I think
like
there's 5.
Oh, we got 4 more to go before we equal the video games, though.
No. Dude, they ran out of stuff to talk about. No.
Oh, no.
Really?
That can go a whole new direction now. Because of COVID.
Oh, God, no.
Because from
The
the start,
Umbrella
there was that...
Corporation released COVID.
Well,
Right.
there was that company across from that Wuhan market.
Yeah,
They actually used the umbrella as their logo.
Have you guys seen the video? I think it's on YouTube of the Chinese police detaining a guy with COVID trying to leave Wuhan.
I haven't seen that.
Oh my God!
Is that the
No, I
one where he's being drugged down the hallway, kicking and screaming?
They actually, so they have a long distance thermometer, and so they tag the guy. See, he's got a fever, and of course you don't understand because he's speaking Chinese, but you get the gist of what's going on. But there's like 4 of them all in hazmat suits, and with police on the back, and the guy tries to run their barricade, and within seconds they've got a strip out in front of it. A SWAT truck blocks him off. The guy jumps out of his car, and they have a net on a pole, and they slap it over his head, throw this guy on the ground, have him in cuffs, and gone. And then there's like five cops, and they all get in a row, and they spray him down with some kind of detergent or whatever. And this guy gets in the car, pulls it off to this guy's gone. I mean, who knows where he went?
My favorite one this week was a
Coming to a
kid.
city near you.
Near you.
Right?
A kid in Calgary was playing hockey out on a public ice rink, and him and his friends weren't following COVID rules. Mm-hmm. So the police came out, and they tried to arrest the kid, and he skated away because they couldn't follow him. They eventually caught him, because where the hell are you going to go? It's not like the skating rink's connected to anything.
Right? You got to skate in circles.
And like, it got violent. It was
Probably the best game of Duck Duck Goose on ice.
Oh, man.
So, as we close out the first hour, how do you think the spirit world is right now? I mean, honestly, we have just in America alone 300,000 plus dead.
getting full.
Yeah, but don't you think there's a lot of talking going on?
Well, I can talk for the mediums, people who work in the professional business, and they've not been busier than this year. So many people are turning to them for it. Plus, we have others, and there's been a lot of noise. I mean, so there's been a lot of noise this year. And people have talked about how the oracles and how people have brought down the veil. So there's been this kind of constant thrum against it. So at least from the points of mediums and people who utilize those services, they've never been busier.
I deal with a lot of them also, and that's exactly what we're hearing. And they've been, but right now, in the last week or so, it kind of went down, and I think they're looking for more of a rest and letting some of these things that came up in 2020 go back down into the ground, and hopefully that the dead will rest a little bit more. I've been hearing that in the last 2 weeks.
Do you think they'll actually rest, or do you think the malevolent entities will come out because of all the chaos?
Well, I think at the end of October, the malevolent entities started to come out. Mm-hmm. And I think that there was a blowback. They were out for all the way into December, and I think that they are slowly but surely going back and resting now. From what I've seen, doesn't mean that we're going to have another uptick shortly, because it all depends on how it plays out.
Right.
After this year, you think they got to be tired by now.
I would think, go home.
If they feed off chaos,
well,
this is their 2020 was their Thanksgiving dinner,
right? Well, and I would think clearing a house would be so much easier because you just walk in and you go, okay, I know you're tired, get the hell out, go home. Okay, I'm sorry, and they go home. And, but no.
Remind me to talk to you at the break about a possible guest. He wrote a book called Quantum Paranormal. He's in the UK. His name's Patrick Jackson. And he's teamed up with Steve Colburn, who has done a lot of he worked for 8 years with Roger Lear. And they have an interesting deal going on, and looking in the paranormal field and combining it with UFOs, and it's very interesting, and I think your audience would probably enjoy listening to it.
Oh, he'd fit right in, because we see UFOs as paranormal, which is so irritating. Exactly. with the and so now that I have a new Facebook account, I'm going back into groups that I was in before. Some of them are new, and it's so irritating when you see a paranormal group that we don't talk about UFOs in here. No, UFOs are aliens. Really? Why? It's all paranormal. Come on now.
Yeah, it's all paranormal, folks.
And not to mention, you know how boring just talking about spirits gets? When you have Bigfoot and Dogman and aliens and UFOs that you could be talking about. But no, we just want to talk about
Dogman
spirits.
Activity is seeming to pick up a little bit around Adams and around LBL again. So that may be the new thing in 2021. May see some interesting things on that. You never know.
We'll talk about that in about 10 minutes.
The year of the rake.
The year of the lichen. They're probably tired of these talking monkeys running around destroying shit.
I think that 2021 is going to be the year of the cave dwellers. Watch out.
Well, yeah, and he's right there by the Mammoth Cave, so, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Look out, Barry.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, you might want to move. Just don't go to Tennessee, because...
Just don't go to Tennessee. I've been warning about that for the last 6 months. Mm-hmm. Because that activity is still picking up. People don't understand what can come up out of the ground.
Oh, absolutely not. You got trolls, you got gnomes, you got a whole plethora of stuff that you don't even think about.
Rakety rakes.
No. Oh. Yeah, yes, and of course,
and rakes.
Carla, your rakes. And these other things. There are
Kayla's favorite creature, the rake.
Supernatural is extremely alive and well, and it continues to amaze me. And it's amazing how many people don't really look into it, you know. And it's sad.
I'll save it for the next hour.
Okay.
We are. Cole might not be on the same page yet because I haven't talked to Cole about it yet, but we are planning on doing some S4 expeditions around our mountains here, looking for Bigfoot and UFOs and whatnot.
Sure, I'll cover you in honey and put you against a tree.
That's the bears, not Bigfoot. Bigfoot gonna go, well, you're weird.
Don't get lost in the details.
Oh, God.
You go, Cole made me a Bigfoot gifting site. Hi, come home with me. No. Not. I'll grab my pointy stick.
Oh, jeez.
So will Bigfoot.
You're so full of jokes. But I
Did you say you're going to tie Cole to a tree at a Bigfoot gifting site?
No. This time it's Eric. This is 2021. I am no longer the fall guy.
Whoa.
We're not doing this anymore.
This time. How many times have you been tied to a tree by Eric?
We're not going to talk about it.
Oh, never. But I am curious. I do want to do some sky watches this year, just because if we're expecting, fire in the sky, I want to see it before it hits.
Oh, no. Well, next time I talk to Kayla about taking that patch of grass
right
there,
you
need to pipe up.
Area.
Okay, fine. You can take it and you can make it into your Skywatch area.
Thank you.
There you
See,
go.
that's how easy that was? There we go.
I'll put
Problem
my greenhouse somewhere else. Thanks.
So y'all invited the Coles for Skywatch?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
You can visit Kayla's brown house. Let's be honest. Nothing's going to be green in there.
Oh, dude, 2020 sucked. I'm sorry. I'm normally a lot better at growing things. But I couldn't even grow a damn zucchini this year.
Oh, so J-Ron, the show. So J-Ron saw a reference to S4, not our show. Actually, yeah, the Area 51 S4 is actually what this show is named after. Because we talk about UFOs a lot, obviously. And Bigfoot, and hauntings, and everything else. But yes.
Little fairy fay.
The S4 at Area 51 is where our name comes from.
Storage garage.
Huh?
Storage garage.
Eric used to work with Bob Lazar at Area S4.
That's classified.
Was I not supposed to say that?
No.
Oh, shoot.
No, that was Your Eyes Only. God.
So next week on it.
Yes.
I was just thinking, his eyes only. Like, how many times have you been tied to a tree?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
PBR says full moon on Tuesday.
Is it already?
The full moon?
Yeah.
Ooh. Hey, did anybody
Just about.
see that
I can see it.
Christmas star? Was anybody's weather good enough to actually see that?
Joe's was. He showed me a
Nope.
picture.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I saw
sent a
Joe's
picture of the
picture.
conjunction.
There was some breaks Lake Cloud in Tennessee. I had a friend of mine get a picture of it. And it looked just like a normal star or planet to me. But, and I'm not too sure if it wasn't combined. I heard some things about it being combined with the two planets that align that could also be causing that. Did anybody else hear that?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
No, for a lot of people, it marked psychology-wise, paranormal-wise. So many people are calling it the Aquarian awakening.
Mm.
It really got under people's skin. It was beautiful. I got to see it. I did see it. I was in lovely Jacksonville, Florida, so I was able to see
Oh,
it.
good deal. Well, I'm glad somebody got to see it.
Right?
I was really looking forward to it, and then it was Washington.
Yeah.
So,
And remember, and well, set your calendars for September 8th, 2040, where the next bigger one happens, where we have both of them conjuncting again, almost identical, with a little bit, with Mars and Venus included inside that.
Oh, Joey, I'll be so I can see it when I'm 70. Woohoo!
Yeah, there you go. It's all but there you go. That's the next big one. And for a lot of people who are like into it, there's the Aquarian Stella, which is in February, which is like 7 planets are get aligned up again. We're in just a position that we do this all the time, but we were just in a position in history where it all seems to cluster. So,
and we're also entering the age of Aquarius, correct?
It depends where it is. Literally, that's what they said that moment was. And for some, 1221 are trying to say that it is. And people have been saying that for a while, but we're definitely seeing the Aquarian age energies hit into it. So we're seeing a lot of people. Right now, if you're into astrology, it's a huge amount. If you're an Aquarian, this is supposed to be your best year ever. If you don't take advantage of it, you're doing something wrong.
Okay, and with that, we will take our first break. When we come back, we will carry on 2021, doom or gloom.
You are listening to S4 on Spreaker.com.
And welcome back to S4, and yes, we are talking 2021, all things paranormal and otherwise. So like I said before, I've joined some other groups. I want to bring up a pet peeve of mine over a case that they're talking about in this group. And I know, Barry, you're going to be pissed, but there's a child involved with this case, a child seeing monsters, right? And the child is at the point where they don't want to go in their room. So, of course, you have these 11 billion answers of, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. Oh, my God, sage the room. Oh, I'll do this. And, okay, valid answers. I'll give it that. Valid. I won't say a word. Until I see, oh, my God, you need to call in a demonologist, and that's going to cost you a lot of money.
Oh,
really? Really?
Oh, jeez.
Going to cost you a lot of money. And so I finally did post. I said, look, let me know if there's nothing, if nothing's happened by Monday, let me know, and we will get a team that'll handle it. But I'm going to tell you now, if anyone ever tells you it's going to cost you a cent, look somewhere else, because there's plenty of us out here that can handle anything, and we don't charge.
Yes, we don't charge for anything. I don't care what it is. I mean, it doesn't matter how bad it is. Anybody run the other way when somebody says, I want money, because they're going to sage your house 15 times after that. You're going to have all kinds of different things going on. And one of the things that I'm not too keen about is saging without knowing what the heck you're doing, because I think sage, there's different types of things that you have to use at certain times, and you really got to investigate it to see what it is, because
you got to find the root. Once you find the root,
right,
you remove the root, and then you sage.
Right.
Sage
that's exactly right.
That's what kills me. Sage is not a fix-all.
No,
Sage, in fact, will piss off more than it's going to clear.
Yep, depending on what you use and how you use it. You got to combine stuff with it. You got to do a lot of different things with sage.
Yeah, no, you've got to pass over the spirit or remove the malevolent entity, and then you sage basically to seal and shield. That's what you do.
Seal, exactly. 100% right, Eric. 100% right.
But
it pisses me off to hear that somebody's talking about charging for as a demonologist or anything. And I worked a case not too long ago, and the first thing that happened, they called a church, and the church wanted $300 to come in.
Seriously?
I'm not kidding you.
Well, yeah, because of COVID, they're not getting their tithes, so they got to charge.
Holy crap!
No, exorcists are always charging from the Catholic Church. They always have.
Yeah, well, I can't. I work with some people that are demonologists, and is an exorcist for the Catholic diocese, and he never charges a dime, and he goes in and does his thing, and we go with him on occasions, and he's also a member of our team, and. Golly, it's kind of like going, nope, we don't want, he doesn't charge a thing, but there are some things out there that are charging you, and please go the other way, because you will get wrapped up in a terrible thing. And everybody wants to become a demonologist. It's a catchphrase in 2020, and it will be in 2021. And, there's certain people that can do that. It's just like going, how many people do you know that claim to be psychic?
Oh, God. Everyone and their brother. 6 out of 10 say they're psychic, and only maybe 1 out of 10 actually is.
Right, exactly. I know the ones that are. And, God love those people, because some of them are not out charging. They don't even let people know that they are psychic.
No.
And which is amazing. There's a lot of people out there that do a lot of stuff, astral travel, doing all kinds of fantastic things. There are many good people out there And it drives me nuts. And I hope that they find someone like you, Eric, and if you do need any help, I'll be more than happy to also try to help you out with that also.
Perfect. I'll be monitoring that group to see if they do respond, whether they actually got the problem solved or not. But, you know, I have a hard time anytime somebody automatically jumps on demon without knowing anything about the true nature of the case. Because,
right.
You know...
Or without knowing anything about a demon.
Right? And, you know, again, going statistically, 5 to 10 cases a day for a year, and you've got maybe 1 to 2 that are truly demonic versus other malevolent entity types that are non-demonic. Yeah, non-demonic is a rare case. Demons are rare. People don't get that. True demons are rare. There's a whole bunch of malevolent entity types out there that aren't demonic that are easier to remove than a true demon.
True.
But it also does not take the Catholic Church to remove a demon. We've done it.
Right. Exactly. You know. And you're right. It does not. And it also goes into another side of the thing. Look, folks, black shadows, dark shadows are not negative beings and are demons. You know,
some of them are, but again, they're rare.
Right. But oh gosh, come on.
So when people and a truly higher level demon, you're not going to know what's there because they're actually making you depressed and making you commit suicide. That's usually the motivation of a higher level demon. They're not going to attack. They don't scratch in threes. The lower level demons might, but again, they're rare.
They have a plan. I mean, they are going to depress you. They're going to take your mind over. Then they're going to go that next step. It's always a 3-step process, and by the time you're in that 3-stage process, you have serious problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
what do we see? What do you think for 2021? Do you think there's going to be more paranormal teams coming out?
No.
Or do you think it's going to slow down now?
I honestly... Go ahead.
You know, the way I look at it is I think that there will always be new paranormal teams coming out because people want to try to find something. I would rather them have... It's kind of like some of the people that I've seen that are dealing in the crafts right now. Some of them don't belong in the crafts.
No.
They are, you know, they're not studying the old ways and they're not attuned to it, and that's a problem. And it's the same thing with the groups. There'll always be people coming out and trying to do things, but they're all wanting to be on TV. That's all they're interested in. You know, everybody. It's all a popularity contest out here right now.
And that's what kills me, folks. If you want to be on a paranormal team, find an already existing one. Don't try starting your own because your motivation is to be on TV, because that's really the wrong motivation to do it.
Well, that's so you have to understand, it's not even just TV anymore. TV is an old concept. It's falling apart. I mean, the hyper reality of television broadcasting is going to over-the-top counters, so there's a lot more room, a lot more small checks for people to produce material to be seen by these smaller audiences. But I also see, you were mentioning the shadows. Now, one thing I am receiving a lot of reports from people who have been talking with me are shadow people, and basically the huge increase that people have spotted. This is something they're seeing in the cities. With everything being more silent and less people, shadow reports have become really big. I was just in Chicago for 6 weeks, and I was chasing around and talking to people about the shadows that they were existing. So I don't know if that's tied with the dead as much, or if it's just quiet city. There's always been there. It's just been quiet.
Right, exactly.
Oh, real quick, Dennis has a really good question. Would anyone say that paranormal TV trend is dying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Zach Bagans has overplayed his hand. I think he's done, other than doing the same old stuff he always does. I honestly, I don't keep track of paranormal TV because I find it, frankly, disgusting and boring. Because you can only pull the door with a string and toss a rock behind the scenes so many times, but people are gullible. You know, and I don't know, ever since a certain TV show came up here to Concrete and destroyed the family,
yeah, no, that was bad.
I was done with paranormal TV after that.
That was Dead Files, wasn't it?
Oh,
we were talking about Dead Files.
You just had
like, so Dead Files.
You just had
right?
You just had to go there. Didn't you?
Hell yes.
No, but you know,
Amy Allen is an actress, not a medium.
That's the worst show on TV.
Absolutely. Yeah. And after that episode came out, which already done pissed me off, then she comes out and tells a 4-year-old, folks, 4 years old, that they're possessed by a demon. Are you serious? 4-year-olds are possessed being 4 years old, let alone by a demon. So, yeah, you're going to terrorize a child on TV. No, that's not paranormal TV. That's bullshit.
Mm-hmm. I can only watch somebody scream and run out of the room so many times.
Absolutely. I think most of them... Go ahead, Ed.
I do think you're going to start seeing fairy paranormal shows. I think you're 2 years away from it. Because of the really strong interest on the Z generation, the teens. Mm-hmm. They've become very fae-oriented. So I think you're going to see them switch to trying to hunt fairies.
I would be okay with that. That's something that's something different. That's something that FMP always looked at. Because, well, being pagan, we know fae exist. Whereas your normal non-pagan paranormal team is going to go fairies. They aren't real, But the fae cause. I don't have a statistic for you, but the fae cause a decent amount of paranormal activity. I agree. That a lot of paranormal teams don't look at. They don't look for it.
So, and I also see a lot of the I see some of the S4, for example, but some of the quality groups have been asking me and talking around. I'm kind of new to the paranormal scene. I've been a long time, learner and student and everything else. But one of the things I'm also seeing is this idea of why haven't people put the equipment on witches and other people who are claiming to have activities with these supernaturals. And I think that's going to be a direction they're going to go to, that generated by human beings. I don't think it's going to get much farther. I think it's going to be just as bad television.
As it goes. I mean, and there is so much paranormal out there, like I stated earlier, that we don't see, we don't deal with. But some of the teams, like ours, S4, Force Paranormal, do, and you got to look at it all. That's the thing. I mean, you have to, I didn't spend 40-some years in this field just looking around at ghosts and seeing everything else because, man, all the folklore, everything comes from a certain part of the thing. There is a true story. People tell me, oh, well, vampires don't exist. Bet me.
I see it going a lot more.
I'm like, what, are you nuts?
I see everything going a lot more documentary and a lot more science-based lately. Like,
well, science-based is good. If science, right now, the paranormal has always been a pseudoscience. And now I think there are certain groups, and this gentleman that I just mentioned in this book I mentioned is touted very much for it, but he's getting a lot of blowback in the UK from paranormal groups because what he's stating may be very factual, and I'm looking to try to even develop some equipment that can test some of his theories out and look at it, because it's kind of mind-blowing, because I had to keep my hat on, and it was like wanting to blow off after doing it, and it's very interesting. So
I think a lot of the reality TV, which to me paranormal TV does fall underneath, is going to disappear. I think the problem is with the way our lives have gone the last year.
Yeah, true.
No one wants to see things that we could be doing if it wasn't for COVID.
True.
So they're going to have to adjust for that in making more big budget things that are not even possible for us yet. Like, for example, Star Trek has a whole bunch of new ones, like they've been talking about in the chat room, coming out. Different things that aren't possible in our life. I think we're going to have more trends of that coming up.
Well, and more podcasts. I have seen explosion of podcasts.
I think what your trend is going to be for the broadcast TVs, they're not going to be so much the shows like Zach Bagans or that horrible Dead Files show and stuff. I think what's going to pick up is the shows that, like the caught on cameras.
There you go.
Things. Yeah. You know, I mean, a lot of it's garbage, but every once in a while there'll be something on there like, wow, that's kind of interesting. But the thing is, people have a short attention span. They're not going to sit and watch a group of people in a house for an hour. They want to see 25 things in that hour from different parts of the world that people have caught on camera.
Right.
If you think about it, we're already heading there.
Show me.
Yeah, we have been heading that way for 4 years, because since really YouTube blew up, think about our kids. Hardly any of them actually sit through a half an hour episode of something anymore.
No. Yeah. I don't watch TV.
Unless it's clip shows, and that's the thing.
They watch YouTube.
Yeah. I get more entertainment out of YouTube videos than I do, and a lot of paranormal teams have actually taken YouTube. And again, not everything on YouTube is real. Of course. But you know,
what?
No, don't do that to us.
I thought everything was vetted.
Well, what about
by Joe?
So what do you guys feel? So what do you guys feel about Gaia TV?
Yeah, Gaia TV is good.
Okay.
And I think Gaia is going to continue to grow more and more.
Gaia TV.
But I also think that I'll give people an idea for a paranormal show. I think if you did paranormal in the news and covered news stories across the country that are happening every week for about 30 minutes or so, I bet there'd be all kinds of people watching that show.
Well, you know,
Dennis has a good point.
What?
Podcasts have officially taken first in 2020.
Yeah,
and they really have. Like,
so are we on Spotify?
Yes, we're on Spotify.
Yeah, so
we're on iHeartRadio.
We're on iHeartRadio. We're on Spotify.
We're on Google.
Google.
We have not broached Pandora or Amazon yet. But Amazon is brand new. So is Pandora. Pandora just started their first podcast in late 2019.
So that's a goal that we need to push.
Pandora has said no to us, and it's because there is a reason. They're only accepting about 100 to 100. What is that?
Is that an emergency alert?
Yeah.
Yeah. Amber Alert. LIC 8KPJ.
A child abduction.
C8 2019 silver Volkswagen Jetta.
Oh, sad day.
All right.
Is that right here?
Yeah,
silver Volkswagen Jetta, people.
Yep. Anybody sees a silver Volkswagen Jetta?
Does it say an area?
No, but that bumped for everybody in Washington, so
I
would assume Washington State.
Huh.
I didn't get it.
And you heard it right here on S4. Anyway, you know, I don't know where to take S4 as far as what other platforms can we push S4 into.
We're pretty much on the
heard
platforms.
that there is this satellite network that can take over any broadcast across the world.
Ooh.
I was thinking we'd start there.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
Reach for the stars.
Oh.
Oh, God.
No, like, we just got to keep plugging along for now. Eventually, there will be more ways to get out there, but so far, we have a lot of There's mine.
Oh, mine's probably in the truck.
It's for Snoqualmie, ladies and gentlemen. 8KPJ094 is the the license plate. It is a California license plate on a 2019 silver Volkswagen Jetta. If you see that, just please call the police. But it at this point, we have our, of course, lovely loyal listeners on Spreaker here.
Absolutely.
As well as we do get a lot of hits off of Spotify, Apple, Google, and iHeart, and TuneIn Radio as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
working our way up in 2021.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right now, our big thing has to be content, not where we're plugging. But
yeah.
Eventually, hopefully, we can get this onto you guys at Amazon Music as well. It's just because they're so new, they only have a few guys that are actually vetting all of these podcasts that they're getting.
Right.
And they're all going through the big names first.
Well, and that's the thing. There's so many people are getting away from the TV and the making videos, and they're going to podcasts.
Well, yeah, I started listening. Do you guys know that Bert Kreschner?
I'm the Machine.
He's a comedian that does the show The Machine. Anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, well, check him out. He's actually a really good comedian. But he started doing a podcast where he actually interviews other comedians. And they are just hilarious.
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny.
Oh, yeah.
So, I started listening to that while taking Kayla to work because I got tired of music. Which is horrible for me to say.
What? You can't get tired of music.
No,
I can up here because half the time we lose service. So I have to have every song that I want to play downloaded on my song. There's only so many times you can listen to 900 songs.
Yeah.
So, and yes, Dennis, Pandora is a real stickler for follow count. But also, they denied us the first time because we were missing certain things within our RRS feed. And so once I fix that, hopefully they'll take a better look at it.
Okay, so 2021 is the year of the Lycan.
You think?
Dogman.
Dogman.
Dogman's
like it. What do you think?
In what context is it the year of that?
Well, everyone talks about Bigfoot all the time. We talk about Bigfoot all the time. We don't talk about Dogman because Dogman's not here. Bigfoot's here. But what do you think,
exactly.
Barry? What do you think, Barry? Yeah, you said the Dogman reports have gone up.
Yes, they are. They are going up, and I think that you're going to see some more activity about Dogman and everything else. It's funny, Adams, Tennessee being just south of me, and I've been in Adams quite a lot. And Kate Betts gets a pretty bad rap. I think she's about it, but the beast that was seen back in those days, the red-eyed wolf-like creature, has been seen quite a lot around the Adams area and heading over towards land between the lakes.
How big is he?
Big. They can get up to this thing has been seen to be at least 9 foot tall. I saw one not too long ago. We were driving down to a case and went across the road, and it went across on all fours, and it covered the whole lane of traffic from the edge of the road to the center line, to give you an idea how long it was. And then it started to stand up, and I was driving by it, and I was not going to stop and say, "Hey, how you doing, bud?"
What? All he wanted was a cup of coffee.
Oh, social distance.
Now, are the dogmen supposed to be solitary the way they're seen, or people think they're more of a pack animal?
The ones that we have encountered here all seem to be very solitary. They seem to be in that area now. There have been reports of what we call a wolver. Now they seem to be more pack oriented. And it's funny, Bigfoot and dogmen don't cover in the same areas. If there's a Bigfoot in the area, the dogmen will be on the other side of the field or in another area.
Okay, so are they sworn enemies?
Out here on the West Coast, everybody knows Bigfoot. And people come up to me all the time, and they'll want to talk about it because they know I'm interested in it. And get in a conversation, and you bring up Dogman, and they'll look at you, and they'll say, "What's a Dogman?"
Yeah.
Nobody knows about it out here.
Because we don't have them here.
And if we do, they're so few and far between that nobody's really seen it.
I've never heard a Dogman report up here. And again, I've
never heard one here either.
I've heard one goat man.
I want to say, though, when you first said that this is the year of the lichen, the year of the dogman, my first thought went to, like, some zodiac thing. Maybe we need to develop that. Like, China's got, like, the year of the rat, year of the horse. We need a year, like, the zodiac of the cryptids.
Yeah, but...
Cryptid zodiac.
Here, every year is going to be the year of Bigfoot.
Well, maybe we need the S4... Cryptid Zodiac.
Okay, we could do that.
Cryptid Zodiac around the world.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the year of that. And not the damn sparkly vampires and forks either. A real dog man. Good God.
Okay.
Anytime
they were sparkly, you have to admit. The werewolves from Forks, they're damn cool.
Well, yeah. The vampires were sparkly.
They heat up, they get pissed off, and they change whenever the hell they want.
Vampires aren't sparkly. Have you ever seen a sparkly vampire, Barry?
I can't say but
no, I
you've
haven't.
Never,
but I'll
you've
tell
never
you
been to Salem.
Huh?
You know, I will tell you that one of the things when you mentioned sparkly that I think that may be reported more this year are these glimmer images that look like Predator.
Oh, yeah. That's not sparkly, that's glimmer.
Well, I heard that vampires get pretty sparkly is the first time they go in the sun.
I call that a heat wave, though. Because that's what it looks like.
I don't know. I've heard a lot of reports lately that you never used to hear about people seeing, like Barry said, the Predator thing, where you could see there's something there, but you can't really tell what it is.
Right.
Camouflage.
And I'm wondering why people are seeing through the camouflage or whatever it is more often than they used to.
Yeah, and it's not like it's camouflage.
CERN.
Yeah, that may be
CERN.
Huh? CERN. I do think that.
Yeah.
I absolutely think that CERN has been carrying out a number of experiments that have actually altered some of our electromagnetic and some of our receptors. I mean, we don't know completely what it is, but we know that there's a sense among so many of us that CERN did something.
Oh, absolutely.
So thank you for bringing that up, Ed. That is. I agree with you 100%. And I'm not too sure that they haven't opened a crack somewhere and they can't stop it.
Yeah.
So, because they're all going, because right now they're supposedly shut down again to do another upgrade.
Yes, exactly. I've heard that also.
And so,
do you think CERN could be the reason the veil's getting thinner?
well, I've lived most of my life inside another circle. Remember, I lived really close to the Enrico Fermi accelerator because I'm from Chicago. And I've been in there. And if you follow the Fermi, I wish somebody would do it. If you follow the Fermi and the spiritual kind of things, they kind of coincide. So I've always felt that anytime you distort the quantum field is what we've been doing. Like we played with the atomic bomb, and to this day, I don't know why we ever set it off, because we had it was believed we had a 1% chance of taking out the atmosphere. That's how suicidal humans are.
Yeah.
And they're experimenting, and so we have this big accelerator in the middle of the heartland of America. And if you look at some of the places, such as Indiana, parts of Indiana, parts of that area,
right,
for 30-something years, you can see a higher of that UFO sightings. So if you look inside the accelerators thing, there's the facts. I'm not positive of it, but I've always been aware of it. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree with you. Excellent point, Ed. Excellent point.
people with supercharged particles slamming into each other and causing little tiny black holes to appear for seconds at a time. There's got to be some kind of backlash from that. It can't.
Yeah, shadow people.
I mean,
that's what shadow people are.
You can't mess with the laws of science without screwing up something. You can't do it.
I just remember China this week turned on their sun and their fusion reactor. They got 20 seconds out of it. I mean, they just opened something as powerful as, the sun on a micro scale inside our atmosphere, in a machine for 20 seconds. I mean, we are playing with... So when we talk about it, and I do think that the science is banging against the walls that the spiritualists have always talked about.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. To be perfectly honest, has nobody seen Stranger Things? Do we not know what can happen if we open the portal to the wrong world?
Yeah, we don't want to see what the upside down looks like.
No.
Hey, what I really want to know is who gives CERN the permission to do this kind of stuff?
Geneva Convention.
Yeah.
CERN is run by a consortium of over 17 country scientific groups. That's it. And Switzerland gave them the right to build on land.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of who pays for it wins.
Not only that, but did you know that anybody, so like I could write a proposal to CERN and ask them to do my experiment and show them proof of this is what this is doing, this is why this is happening, everything else, no PhD, no nothing. I could just write them and tell them I want to do this and have the scientific proof for it. And anybody that passes that can use it. Anybody.
Yeah. It's an open Pandora's box is what it is.
And remember, CERN's official position on ghosts? There are no such things. We would have seen them. They said it, or we would have seen them already.
We have.
But for CERN, they're saying... But CERN says there's no... They're saying because of the way they work, and they've never seen a ghost. So they've been really anti that sort of paranormal, the sort of investigation of their metaphysical side. They've been really adamant against it.
Which is funny because they've seen the quantum proof of it. They've seen quantum tunneling and the fact that this is a possibility for something to be in two different places at the same time. So it seems like if anybody was going to believe in spirits and a spirit being able to be in several different dimensions at once, it would be this group of scientists. I'm just saying.
Yeah, quantum tunneling is definitely up their alley. And,
right.
It's just like going, that's like a slap in the face. I mean, you've got to, possibly, I think that they're basically hiding it, or why they would. Because when you open that kind of gate, you don't know what you're going to pull up. You're going to pull up ancients out of the spirit because you're dealing multi-dimensional, things, and oh my gosh!
Right?
Oh, I wish they would.
No. The last thing we need in 2021 is a bunch of ancients roaming around going, "Hey, buddy." No thanks.
Oh, come on, that could be a little.
Oh, we could deal with them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's pull up the Titans. Come on, let's do this.
Yeah. So 2020, the year of 2021, the year of the Nephilim come back. Is that?
Oh,
is
Jesus!
That
we just put them in the right places; it'll be fine.
Yep.
I don't like this.
We'll send Bigfoot after them.
And it comes down to the whole question of just because we can do something doesn't mean we should do something.
Absolutely.
Oh, there's been so many thresholds of that can do, should do that we have passed that it's not even funny.
We're just going to ignore that question so I can get a velociraptor, people.
You want a velociraptor for your backyard?
Absolutely. There won't be a meth head around for miles.
Nope.
Except for the velociraptor.
And you can call me crazy, but I could have swore that there's been chances where I've seen a dinosaur flying through the air, and
Are we talking
pterodactyls do exist. Pterodactyls do exist, folks.
Maybe that's what's making missing people.
Pteranodon flying down and picking it up.
I think portals on Earth are going to be more active in 2021. I will tell you that much. I do believe.
Well, I agree.
Is there a theory out there about CERN? Maybe before CERN fired up, we didn't have the Mandela effect, but now we do.
There's a lot of people that put that on CERN. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that, but everyone blames them for everything. But they're doing something.
Altered perceptions of reality. That's what they're doing.
Well, the government's been doing that to us for years. I mean, look, we drink fluoride water. We do all this kind of stuff. I mean, they're dumbing down society, and they're putting things in your mind. We don't hear much about HARP anymore, but
no,
HARP still is something that is, weather modification and all that stuff is out there, and they've been able to beam stuff into your brain.
Oh, okay. We don't hear much about HARP anymore, but there was 20 bazillion hurricanes this year? I mean, just throw that.
Right.
Well, in 2021, an Israeli company called Spectra is commercially selling speakers speakers that can target and be in one individual's head. Period. You can just target you out of a crowd, and you're the only one who can hear it. And it's going to become that's going to become a commercial product next year.
That's
I'm on
terrifying.
The list to get anyone.
Wow.
I'm on the list to get one. It can use it for a small group of people or whatever, but it can actually target a group of people and give that person a message as a commercial product you could buy for $499 already.
All right. Hey, what's the range on that?
They're saying about 200 feet at most.
Okay.
It's a concert toy. I mean, what it is they're selling it as a concert toy. We know what it is for. It's
mind control.
People at concerts. But now this is being commercially sold. Remember, they don't have to brainwash us. We will do it for ourselves.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's probably going to be on the nearest spy catalog coming soon to you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And from point of view of haunted houses, because I'm into haunted houses, this is a piece of technology all the haunted houses want. I mean, so you think about what's beneficial, but you're right. The other side of it, that's a lot of control to give people.
Oh yeah.
It's way too much.
Can you imagine the lawsuits that are going to come out of that?
Oh, it's terrifying. I
still want one. I think what 2021 is going to be really something called collapsing hyperrealities. The way we build our agreements is falling apart so fast that we're going to be looking at different parts of the world as alien thought. I think the idea of the other coming in is going to be increasing. And I really think if you want to know where any of the malevolent entities are working, and I think they're working on the highest order, is to kind of create a Russia front, a European front, an American ripping itself apart front, China's front. Japan's ripping itself apart right now. Hong Kong's ripping itself apart. I mean, just this sort of collapsing where what do we want? What do we believe in? What are we doing? And I think it's coming apart, especially in America, but also parts of China, Russia, the old countries, the old democracies are shredding themselves.
Yeah.
I think this is the year. I think 2021 is in year 2 of the shredding of our reality, which is democracy. But it's really our reality of how we communicate with each other.
True. Yeah.
And I think...
Well, you can see it on the internet, and anybody you talk to, people are getting angrier and just insanely...
vicious.
It's something I really can't put my hand on, but I've noticed it a lot lately. People are just not putting up with anything anymore, and it doesn't matter what their view is. They stick to it, and they just kind of dig in on something, and everybody that doesn't believe that is a horrible person, and there's like this hatred that goes around. I've seen people... There's a local site here where you just... tell the locals about road conditions and fires and things like that.
Yeah.
And somebody will post that a car flipped over on its side the other day. and there were 200 responses on it. I mean, it's a small town, but 200 responses, and everybody is arguing and yelling at each other. And I was thinking, it was a car that flipped over. How can that turn into an argument? And it's just a microcosm of everything that's going on.
What's
Doesn't matter what people say or what people think. People are going to argue. They're getting angrier, and it's all kind of building. I don't.
It's turning into a rage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
you could post the simplest things, such as "Wow, the mountain is pretty," and it turns into politics and people fighting over who's winning the election. Or really, all I said was the mountain was pretty. How in the hell does this turn to politics?
Well, actually, I think that one would turn into that's sexist.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that could be what you mentioned earlier, the 2021 Draco effect, and the darker side of that, because as they work, that's the platform that they would use to destroy and do that.
So the biggest change I'm seeing, and I'm telling you, we just saw 40 million Oculuses sold over Christmas. More of them coming in.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
So we're going to have... So this is really the first year we're going to see the connected. Everything now is possible to become connected. More like 2047 type of movies where we sit in our chair and we just put on our systems and we work. And we do everything. So I think you're going to start seeing a certain population never leaving their houses again, and they're going to become part of what we call the connected.
Straight up Ready Player One. Yep.
Yeah.
Ready Player One, The Matrix, Proto Matrix, or anything else. 2021, this will become, by the end of the year, a lifestyle.
Yeah.
The first signs of it.
Do you know the one that freaks me out, though? Okay, have you guys seen the movie The Happening?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. How much are we going to do to this planet before this planet really starts striking back with that kind of crap? Like, it's going to have to happen at some point.
So that's why I think
saying.
the connected idea. So the connected idea is it's environmentally friendly. You only go out when you have to. Add a UBI to it from the government. It's a lot cheaper to keep people sitting in a chair and electronically stimulated than it is to have them running around.
Yep.
So this is where the government can slow us down. They saw it. We've seen it in 2020. The one thing we've seen at the Gaius that pleases me, we've discovered so many things. The world calmed down. We heard nature again for the first time. We discovered fish and birds both sing at the dawn. We've discovered the whales have recovered. We've seen so much natural recovery just in the short time we've been slowed down in human activity. I mean, we are ripping nature apart, and gave them 1 year and it bounced back a lot. So there's no way no way we'll ever. I don't know how the governments are ever going to allow us to be the type of travelers and devourers of the world that they were, but they will, because there's a profit in it. But if we learn anything,
and you notice that with business and everything as well, like. People are moving away from the storefronts. People are moving to the online. People are moving to working from home and sitting in their computers and sending their stuff that way. We are becoming connected through the internet, but not connected through each other society slowly. But we're getting there.
Crickets.
And so, so for me, this is an area that I've been looking at. For me, I'm now really interested in the idea of interdimensionality and the alien ships and everything else is being more and more proven. Probably the reason why I can't see the Fermi paradox out there is probably because we haven't gotten to the wavelength yet, the real wavelength where they're really traveling. But this week, I was saving this because they had those radio signals from Prime Centauri. Are they really, is this part of that disclosure system?
I don't know, man. I mean, we've heard signals from space for years. We haven't been able to sit there and exactly pinpoint where certain ones are coming from, or if it's just the rotation of different planets that we're hearing, the sound of this or that. We've been hearing a lot of stuff like that for years. And everybody has to think at this point, with the amount of galaxies that are out there, the amount of possible other universes that are out there, and everything else, everybody's got to believe that there's got to be some other form of life on some other planet at this point. I mean, speaking just numbers alone, there's no way there isn't.
You ask most people today, they have more belief in the fact that there might be aliens out there than there is Bigfoot. I mean,
yeah. Well, I think it's because frequency is everything. It causes vibration, which causes energy. All of that. I believe that with the satellite systems that are up there right now, and there's more people bidding for more and more and more. Look, they're not going to be, you get, internet's not going to be free ever. They're going to be able to control that more, but I believe that there is additional things on these satellites that are not aiming in our direction. They're not here to, they're not here to blow up a small nuclear that comes out. I don't know if it was on this show or another show I was talking about. I was looking at the nuclear forecast of how many cities it is, and they started an interesting number of a small nuclear hit, if someone's going to shoot nukes, is like 500 at one time. So if you get into a nuclear war, they have the DoD has a nice thing that shows this will be the top areas for the first 500, and it goes up to 2,500. And if you have a Stargate, anything like that that's up there that is meant to disable or shoot down satellites, its response time is too slow. I mean, you're not going to get all this out. So what is that actually doing? I think it's protecting us from certain things on the other side from coming in. And I think that's one of the biggest part of the lies that have been told, because if you look at Space Force, it's been around forever and everything else. I'm sure that we have been out there playing around for a long time, because the government is so much farther advanced in technology than they will ever let us know.
Oh yeah.
There's a couple things I want to bring up and ask. So I can speak for this community in that we see more and more people leaving the city and heading for the mountains. Yeah. Whether they're renting up here, whether they're buying property, they're getting the hell out of the city. Do you see that?
We see people leaving the cities, but I'll tell you one thing, that's probably the worst thing, because for me personally, and I think Joe would probably agree with me, I don't want the city people coming to be in my neighbors.
No, because they're not leaving their city attitudes behind.
Right.
Right. Come on. Why take somebody that is bad already and say, oh, it's safer out here, and they get out of here and they don't even know how to live in the country?
Nope.
Okay, but
the first thing they want to do is change how the country is.
Yeah,
exactly. They leave the place that they were because it's a horrible situation, and they move up here where we are, and they bring their ideas with them just to try to make this place as bad as the place they just left.
And now with the internet umbilical cord, they can actually afford to buy the cheaper houses. This happens in the town that I live in. My actual residence is. Yeah. And they can buy these mansions for $150,000, $200,000. They go, oh my God, that's so much house. And they bring in the internet, because not good enough internet, so they have to hit the town council to bring in the bigger internet. And they move in, and because they're internet companies now, you're going to see this again about the idea of the connected. You're going to see more and more of sort of the urban technocrats moving into the countryside, taking over these old mansions that nobody wants, and then learning how much it costs to fix them. Different story, and realizing money is everything.
Well, you got to think about it this way too, though. Have you guys looked at the rent prices and everything else in the cities right now?
It's not much better up here.
Okay? But what I'm saying is if you can sell your house in the city and you can sell that house for $1.5 million and then you can move out to the country for $200,000 and you can do all of the repairs that you wanted and not even have to worry about money because you have it.
Right.
I mean, and realistically, people aren't just getting out of the cities for that. They're getting out of the cities because now you're remote working. So it doesn't matter if you're living in the city or not. Yeah.
Now that brings my next question. With an influx of city folk coming up to our mountain areas, do we think, looking at missing 411, we're going to see more missing people in 2021?
I think we're going to see more missing people, but I don't necessarily think it's going to be missing 411. I think it's going to be people that aren't used to the mountain, don't know it, and go up for a hike with an energy bar.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, exactly.
But do you? So we brought up
here all the time.
Thing is, we brought up CERN. We have more portals opening up. Do you think missing 401 is going to increase?
I think missing 411 would have to
year
increase.
I think each year, if you look at 411 type cases, I think that you're seeing that they grow more and more. Look at the areas that they're covering. Look at how much more there are. But the bad thing about it is that, again, most people hear us talk about 411 and all these missing people that are happening.
Can I ask what 411 is? I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Look up David Paulides.
Okay.
And missing 401. Missing 401. I'm running out of time for the second hour, but missing 401 cases are people that are missing, where they actually have search and rescue teams go up. The dogs sit down. They can't find a scent, or they look confused. There's no blood. There's no body. But wait, there might be a body 2 weeks after search and rescue's already gone through that area. The body will turn up.
They're basically people that are missing and have suspicious or unfathomed reasons for why they went missing.
Shoes play a big part in this for some weird reason.
They leave clothes back.
They leave clothes behind.
Yeah, their clothes will be folded. Their shoes will be found sitting on top of all other clothes.
And there's been a few cases with firearms where they'll find the person's firearm disassembled, and in a couple cases where the barrel was actually bent in half.
Yeah,
or bent all the way around.
So basically, it's a long-running rapture.
Right, and what it is it also happens when you're with a group. You know, if we're all walking together and I go behind a bush to take a pee, I might not come out of the bush, you know, or the person that's walking at the back of the trail, or if you walk a little bit out of the line and everybody else is walking, you may step into what may be believed to be a portal and you're gone.
I will say I believe that some of these cases might have some form of extraterrestrial or cryptid type of reasoning for, but I think honestly that most of these cases can be explained as far as people ran away from home, people got lost in the woods.
Those cases have already been looked at.
The runaways are something completely different.
They're completely different.
Yeah.
Same with crimes. The missing 401 cases are missing 401 cases. They've already accounted for the crimes. The runaways, they aren't even factored into the numbers.
Okay.
And you know the amazing part about it is history. Look at your history. If you look back into, you know,
you're talking like Roanoke.
You got to be a history buff, like Roanoke or like anything else. You know, if you start looking at the books from the 1850s. That are in Kentucky, you will see a massive amount of people that have dug up giants who have walked out in their field and their family has been sitting there watching them, and the farmer walks down the way and he disappears. They're littered in our history. Mm-hmm. It's gone on forever, but now all of a sudden it's getting more and more and more. What used to be a handful became 1,000. what became
Well,
1,000.
wouldn't that raise with population?
It could be, but it's also people going into these areas that, as the population expands, we also go into areas that we normally wouldn't go into.
Yep.
Well, and the thing too, a lot of these cases involve granite mountains.
Yeah.
Granite
Right.
mountains. There's water involved, whether it's near a stream, a lake. A lot of
Cave
oceanside cases, cave systems. Yeah.
Mercury? Do we have any mercury reasonings?
No.
Ah, damn.
Not that I've read. But yeah, Ed, if you look up David Paulides, you'll actually see a cluster map. Because there's actually clusters of people missing in certain areas.
Thank you. It's fascinating. I'm looking.
Yeah, boy, it is terrifying if you live in Kentucky and Tennessee because you can't see them.
Well, there's a lot.
Tennessee, there's nothing but dots all over.
Oh, there's a lot in the Northwest. There's a lot in California. There's a lot in Washington. There's a lot in Oregon.
Not to say that it doesn't happen, Barry, but could Tennessee area and where you're at area be a lot of sinkholes? Like, I mean, I know that with the cave systems, you're going to have random sinkholes.
Well, there are sinkholes, but you know what? It's pretty amazing. You can find sinkholes pretty easy, and you know, I walk outside behind the hall. There's holes that open up all the time out there, and you see them. You know, so you can, but they're normally not the size of some of the big sinkholes that happen. You know, you're going to find a body at the bottom of it, or you're going to find a hole about down there or something.
Okay.
It's not. Right. I definitely don't think it's sinkholes, but I do believe that there are certain areas of the country that are extremely paranormal, and even the Native Americans talked about Kentucky being one of those supernatural places, and part of Tennessee. And you know, one of the amazing things about Tennessee and the area that they originally settled in was called, part of it was in Kentucky, was Transylvania. They actually called it, back a long time ago, Transylvania. It was actually labeled Transylvania.
Huh, cool.
So in wrapping up the second hour, I do think if there's anything going on, I think it's a combination between alien abduction, portals. I have a hard time with the cryptid reasoning because I don't think Bigfoot's taking people. If anything, through cases we've actually seen Bigfoot returning kids that were lost, not taking people. So you know, and who knows? Maybe there's a side of Bigfoot that we haven't seen yet. So maybe Bigfoot is taking some people, but
you know,
I think
it's just like I think that there are clans. Bigfoot's been around for a long time, and they have been associated with UFOs, no matter what everybody says.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that a Bigfoot can't be captured and mind locked by an entity and made to do things, become a slave or a prisoner. You know, so you don't know.
Well, you know, and I said
the thing about the cryptids or the wild animals. You know, if someone's attacked by a bear or a cougar, sometimes they live and they get away. They tell the story.
Right.
I think if a Bigfoot's going to take you or something, there's no story coming out about that.
Well,
you didn't make it.
No.
You know, in other words, if they decide to take you, you're gone. No one escapes from that.
And you know, I do think, and I said this on the show a couple of years ago, but I do think Bigfoot is abducted by aliens, just like humans are.
Yep.
You know, we've seen that in cases as well. But anyway, we've got to wrap up and go to break. When we come back, third hour, we will talk about civil unrest and some of the other things that we see might coming up in 2021.
You are listening to S4 on Spreaker.com.
You break, you're going down.
And welcome back to the last hour of S4 tonight. And we are going to wrap up the show tonight with some Debbie Downer discussion, because it is inevitable. January 6th is going to be a potential firestorm with the Senate voting in whoever they're going to vote in. Mm-hmm. But with that comes a whole ton of chaos, because you got two sides of a political system that are fighting over who's going to be the next president. And I'm not going to get into that discussion. That's not what we're about. What we're about is the aftermath of what's going to happen January 6th. So how do you prepare? Well, just stay alert. Stay alert and be ready to react if you have to. Not jump into the fight, but keep your family safe. And that actually is what we're talking about next week. So I'm not going to go into that tonight. That's next week. How to react to an active shooter situation. How to react to an extremist group that might be wanting to take, damage your community. That's what we'll be talking about next week. I think it's a perfect time to talk about that, because we do try to talk about that once a year. And, well, I think next week's a pretty fitting time to talk about it.
How to stay out of a FEMA camp.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not even, at this point in time, I don't know what information you're hearing, if you're hearing anything, but I'm not hearing a lot about FEMA camps. Are you?
No, we're not. And that scares me.
That's when you got to watch out.
The biggest thing that I'm hearing right now is a depletion of the electrical service, cell phone service, internet. If you want to drive people batty and crazy, and we just experienced that this week,
right?
By the bombing in Nashville,
Christmas Day.
Yeah, on Christmas Day, and it was funny that I don't think anybody thought about it and said, "Oh, what was really bad?" And then all of a sudden, everybody's cell phones started going down. And everybody's internet started going down, and everybody's direct TV systems went down.
Yeah.
And so for Christmas Day, the day after, and almost all day today, no cell service. Most people were out of the internet, couldn't watch TV or nothing. So we already had a little taste of that. And that's kind of like going, is that what that bombing was all about? And it's a pretty weird world.
I think my worry with that, you could take this a few different ways, because I think that bombing was actually a test.
Dry run.
Because we have friends in Tennessee that still don't have phone and internet. They're still out.
Yeah.
Right.
But I find
I don't think it was super professionally done. I don't think it was a test at all. I think it was an insertion. We're in the middle of a cyber war with that. Microsoft just went on attack. This affects my life a lot. No, I think it was an insertion. I think they needed to knock down essential core so they can get into it fast enough to put in some of the hacks, so that when it goes back up, it's inside the system.
It wasn't.
You have to.
But it wasn't professional enough for an insertion. I mean, it
maybe they just wanted you to think it was.
Well, maybe not.
Jesus Christ.
But here's the thing. So Izzy and I were talking about this today, actually. One, anytime there's a bombing, everyone automatically jumps on, it's an Islamic terrorist. That wasn't. We know that.
No.
If that was an Islamic terrorist, for one, you wouldn't get a warning. You wouldn't get a countdown coming from an RV. Yeah, it would have been a whole hell of a lot bigger, and it wouldn't have been placed right there. It would have been placed in a much higher volume area.
It would have blown off.
That's the interesting thing. I didn't hear a single report that anybody thought it was Islamic terrorists.
Oh no, neither did I.
I didn't hear that anywhere.
I was surprised. I really was, because that's usually the first thing they jump on. But where they placed
terrorism in another form.
Yeah, but the thing is, where they placed it, you know, you got some media reports. Oh, they were targeting the cops. No, they weren't.
No.
That wasn't a police target. They were targeting the AT&T building. That much we know.
Yes, and not only that,
Yeah.
but
Or
they're
the
giving the
spaghetti
countdown.
factory.
Do we?
Right.
Giving
Or-
the countdown and giving everything
Why?
else.
Infrastructure.
But
Anytime
Yeah.
anyone's going to target anything, okay,
but did they?
yeah,
Oh, I
No,
mean,
they
are-
took out all
But
communication.
are you
911.
sure? That was his point.
911 went down all
Uh-huh.
the way to Alabama and into Georgia and into Kentucky, all from Nashville. I mean,
But-
all these areas. So, I mean, there was screens coming across here. If you have a 911 emergency, call this number. But most people have gone from having hard lines in the house now to having cell phones. And if you had an AT&T cell phone, you weren't making a call.
But here's my problem with that. Yes, they were targeting infrastructure, but I think they wanted you to think they were. Personally,
The whole idea was
personally, I think it was a test run for something bigger to come.
Oh, scary.
Personally, I think we're all jumping the gun.
What do you think?
Well, so
I
far,
think
no
Ed
one
had it
has.
right.
No one has said that there's a chance that this was just a messed up dude who figured, let's cause some damage at the end of the year.
Well, that's possible.
But no one
Oh, that's
says
what's
it.
going to be.
Huh?
They are. They
No one wants to admit that. It has to be he targeted the AT&T. He's doing all this stuff, and it's not he. It's they. Whenever no one says he.
Oh, it is he. His name
They
was
have a name.
Anthony Quinn Warner.
The thing is, they have a name, but is that the name they want you to have?
I don't know.
Well,
I mean, and yeah, I agree. We're all reading into this probably too deep, but
he was
Well,
a
my big thing with
63-year-old
it is-
The guy was
information
pissed at AT&T.
technology contractor.
Yeah. See, my
So what
thing with it
Wouldn't
is
that be the guy you would pick to be a fall guy, though?
Sure, it would be.
That would be the perfect fall guy.
if
Pick
there
a
was
guy-
something deeper to it, yeah.
There's no proof that he was even alive in the back of the Winnebago when it went up.
Nope. All we know is that
He could have been tied up in the back for all we know.
Yeah.
At PBR Street Gang says,
sitting in the seat. Who knows?
what if the guy was just pissed at AT&T?
Well,
There's no
So
way.
what happened to the other rig that was out that they stopped that playing the same music that they closed down the roads for back there?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's other things that are happening around the area. So
What
who knows
music
what
was it?
this is. It was.
They were playing downtown.
Downtown.
Huh.
Like, what if that guy on that road was just really into that song? Like, that sucks.
He was broadcasting it. Well, he stopped at a church first and decided to broadcast it there, and then
Okay,
drives.
that-
to
Okay, maybe he
Drives
just had a
into
really
another
sick sense of
area.
humor.
yeah.
yeah.
Because they didn't find any bombs on him or anything, or any link to him to the other guy. He
No.
probably just had a really sick
No.
sense of humor.
No, the lady who it was funny that what the report was is that he actually signed his deed over to his $160,000 property over to a 29-year-old girl in Los Angeles for $0.
Two houses. Two houses.
Two houses.
So it was obviously premeditated. We know that.
Well, but then, okay, my
Yep.
question is, what does she do for a living?
She's a cam girl. No,
That's
it's
actually
a
where my
possibility.
first thought
That's where I
went.
was going with that too.
Yeah.
Hey, we can look at the one positive side of this, though. We really can.
No one died.
Nobody died. For how big of an explosion this was, for how fucked up things got, no death.
Well, they were able to evacuate, but the weird thing about it is if you've been able to, we've saw some of the photos of it. It broadcast, leave the house now, evacuate immediately. They didn't stop doing that until the end. So if you were at the end of the thing, you'd have been in the street when. If you were trying to evacuate your home, you'd have been on the street when the damn thing went off. Because
That's the
it
thing.
says evacuate now and it blows up.
We have to give kudos to the cops. I'll say
Yes.
that. Because you know what? and I get it. It's their job to protect the public, but they had no idea when this bomb's going to go off. But the first thing they did was start evacuating. That was awesome.
Yeah, they ran towards the problem.
On the one news report where they were interviewed, the first cop that got there said they were listening to this thing playing music, and then all of a sudden it started talking about a bomb. They said they could hear different things going on, and they could hear like the timer start counting down.
Right.
And they're like, and that's like people saying it was almost like, hey, telling the cops and stuff to get away. Pretty much, you have this much time here until it goes off.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. Is if he was a guy that was looking for just to blow shit up and cause destruction, most of them are looking for high body counts. Most of them are looking for this kind of stuff. This guy obviously had something specifically that he wanted from the AT&T building.
Well, no, that's speculation. You're saying
it's a little
most
bit comic booky, isn't it?
Yeah,
most of them. You have to say most of them, right?
Yes.
What if he didn't want a high body count? What if he wanted everyone to know that he died?
Yeah, true. People are in there for weird shit. He's like a freaking...
Think of how weird of a song that is to play, to die to.
It is a super villain moment.
It is.
Weird.
It's ironic.
It like the Joker movie.
It does.
If you really look at it, it looks a little bit more like I just listen to you guys. It sounds like almost like this is a Joker movie. The guy, the whole thing.
Right.
Well, that was already been
done.
About
the Gunfire beforehand.
Wasn't the Joker movie guy the guy that went into a movie theater and started shooting it up? Wasn't he a Joker?
No. That was Batman, right?
Batman, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But that alone shows the point there. The main line about the Joker that is always repeated in almost every film in some way or another, some people just want to watch the world burn.
Right, but he blew himself up.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny weird. Is I still don't understand the gunfire. There was rounds of gunfire, and this was it wasn't normal. This was 30 cal gunfire because they found casings around.
Well, it could have been part of his whole thing about trying to get people away, to get their attention. You shoot off a bunch of guns, you start blaring loudspeakers, telling everybody to leave. People are going to listen to that.
It went on 2 hours before the bomb went off.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't go off to the time when the police got there or anything else because they were called about gunfire.
So the gunfire could have been a recording too.
It could have been, exactly. I don't know, but they did find casings. Somebody did drop casings if that is the case, because they did find casings there.
Huh?
The thing is, they can tell by forensics when those casings were fired. If it was just him dropping, honestly, if he fired the gun or if he just dropped casings, they would know that.
It could also go to the fact that he was killed and put in the truck.
Right. I mean, and then of course the very next day in Chicago, you've got a mass shooter that managed to kill 3 people in, I think it was a mall.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I mean, violence is escalating. We're going to see that, I fear, daily from now until the end of the year. And we see that all the time anyway, but I do think it's going to escalate.
Well, when you got so many people on edge and so many people with their own opinions, it's not a great deal. It isn't.
Say that again.
Is not the media feeding a lot of this?
Hell yeah.
Always. They have been since freaking Columbine and before.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're also feeding it in a way where they're not reporting certain things. No matter what you think about the election or whatever, there's something wrong in Denmark.
Or just so remembering this bombing and then talking about that, you do know who owns CNN, right? AT&T.
It's yeah.
So anything that's going to come out through CNN has got to get approval through AT&T, which has been involved in this.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, how could we ever expect a complete and utter truth on that? So, it is kind of scary that AT&T. I looked up how many properties they own. They own a ton of properties, and CNN is one of them.
Yes.
So, but so the other thing, last time I was on, we were talking about the monoliths that were popping up.
Yeah.
And now there's 180 of them across the world. So, and
I saw a report of a gingerbread monolith.
Yes, I saw that too.
Okay, so there was one in Lethbridge, Alberta. Someone stole it the next day, and then I think they sobered up, and when they returned it, it was at a 45-degree angle. So they weren't completely sober when they returned it, but...
Man,
well, did you see the pictures of Costco selling them for $400?
Yeah.
No way!
And that's the stupid part, is where one thing is all mysterious, there's going to be 1.5 million copycats. There always is.
Yep.
There always is.
And the true meaning of the monolith and the seriousness of it is now gone.
Yeah, because everybody thinks it's a joke. It's some college kid putting one up in the backyard.
Right.
Now,
Exactly.
now the aliens are pissed.
Maybe there was one of them that was real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hidden in a sea of fake.
Well, I think the one in Utah was real. We've had pictures of it for being there for over 5 years. Mm-hmm. And then I think when it got discovered, it set off some sort of reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting. I do know some people are saying, the whimsy and things of that nature. But looking at 2020, this happens here. It's with everybody's trying to love this idea of attunement. I think the biggest thing people want this year is they want to see these ghosts. I think there's a begging, a hunger to see all of this. I think, everybody's looking for that supernatural moment. I think
you're right. Everybody has seen the shows. They've seen the stuff on the internet, and they want to see it for themselves finally.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if
everybody wants the wonder.
Great awakening.
Well, down here in Nashville, the wonder was, you talk about Mother Earth doing things to us and getting back to us. I mean, the tornado that happened in Nashville was mind-blowing at the first part of the year right before COVID came in.
Uh-huh.
And then you have the bombing after that. And, this area is a place where everybody goes and parties and drinks and everything else. I mean, you go down to it was a block away from Printer's Alley. I mean, it is down there where a lot of people are. If they wanted to do people damage, they could have done it in massive amounts. Just do it later in the evening on Christmas Eve night, and you would have done serious death tolls. So it had something to do with the AT&T building for sure. And I don't know the facts about and it really makes me wonder about AT&T getting a contract for looking at the computers from
the voting machines.
The voting machines. And it was supposed to be given to I've heard it was supposed to be given to the AT&T in Nashville because it is their database area. But I haven't heard anything more on that, and I don't know if that's a fact or not.
Because Nashville has got one of the largest computers out there. They believe one of the supercomputers that they utilize.
Yes.
Some people call it the Kraken, but it's supposed to be one of the larger ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was housed in that building.
All kinds of crazy.
Yeah.
And So we have about 30 minutes left. I do want to end the show on a better note. What's your guys? Do you guys have New Year's resolutions? What do you personally want to gain in 2021? What do you want to see positive change? Do you guys have goals for yourselves?
I have a tremendous goal right now.
Mm-hmm.
I started it on the 21st. I made it out there. I'm building a new type of website called Pagan World. Pagan.world. It's based on a new type of hyperspatial database. And it's going to be a directory for pagans and others to kind of contact each other on a local to global basis.
Yeah, and we'll be joining that.
Nice.
And over on Zelle, the Father Pagan was like, become the spokesman for me. And I'm building. So for me, my whole year, I decided since I was going to be sitting down for a year, I wanted to do something substantial. And what I'm doing is creating the foundational seed of a world, literally in cyberspace. I mean, all the way you call it, that will eventually garner up our history and interact with us in a lot of ways. And I think it'll eventually end up being within 5 years VR. That's what I'm building it towards. But right now, it's a local directory.
Okay.
It's a
Excellent.
lot of fun. It's a very different type of project.
And how is Witchvox moving? Or not Witchvox? Select a new Witchvox. How is Witch School going?
It's terrific. We're going to be starting to celebrate our 20th anniversary next year.
Excellent.
And our first degree. Anyone who wants to become a witch, we're going to be doing our first degree. We're going to have people work on it every month. We're going to, we're working. We always have it available, but we're really taking focus back on the first degree, how to become a witch. The first degree is the first, lessons. It takes a year and a day if you're really serious about it. Longer if you're not. I think a lot of people are going to be in it. I think next year is going to be a very positive energy. I still think we're going to be doing a lot more on the internet, but I do think there's a deepening of connections between people. And maybe there's fights between groups, but I think groups inside are becoming much more. I think that we're starting to see a new type of relationship and move that humans haven't seen before. It's the idea of this almost telepathic, this electronic, and addictive. Remind you, we've already talked about the addictive part of this energy. It's just I think we're going to dive into it next year in a big way.
Congratulations.
And
man.
you guys, so Witch School also has paranormal classes as well, right?
We do.
You want to talk about that real quick?
We have a handful. They're probably a little dated now. We're constantly looking to add to our system. We believe in a lifelong education.
Excellent.
But I think that those are written, and I hate to say it, it's going to sound good, it's basic material, but that was written all in the double aughts. Mm-hmm. We haven't really updated it very much lately because we focus on our clergy training. But the desire, oh my God, the amount of people we've been talking to about the show and been doing these sort of things are really fascinating. So I think there's some sort of rift. I think the rift that's been between the supernatural people, the paranormal people, and kind of the witches and magic users. And I think that energy, that space is starting to open up. You guys are doing a good job of it. It is going to be really fascinating. I think there's somebody else was talking to says, well, would you do a show called Magic Hunters? I go, possibly. I hadn't thought of it. But the switch, some more of that idea of what else other than just the straight across supernatural. And I think that's going to, I think that might save paranormal television if they make it into more of these sort of alternatives.
Excellent. And Arnold, what's your goals for 2021?
Getting more into meditation and grounding, myself, and just kind of feeling where that's going to help me grow wherever I need to grow and stuff, and see where that takes me, but also kind of learn more about some paranormal stuff I was going to bring up tonight. I was just looking at some family history the other night on my computer, and hellacious, like something trying to come through the wall, like big knocks banging on the wall started happening. So learning kind of more about that, because it happened twice, and when I said what the hell do you want, it stopped. So
with that, though, a lot of times if they stop reacting and they just wanted attention to begin with.
Exactly.
Sometimes. That's not always the case, but oftentimes spirits just want to be recognized. And, they'll leave you alone. If they don't, that's when you call teams in to handle it for you.
No, it was weird. But yeah, just like I said, into meditation because of what we've been going through for this year and stuff, just trying to get back to a normal, hopefully. But I think the first half of next year is kind of going to be the roughest, for
everybody.
A lot of people. Yeah.
For everybody.
Seeing our son's at right now and what's going on over there already, and it only getting worse, and then looking at that as a smaller town than where we currently live. So, yeah.
I would agree. Yeah. What about you, Joe?
Well, I don't have any plans for personal growth because I kind of like who I am now, and I figure I'm set in my ways.
More pointy sticks.
Exactly. Well, kind of, yeah. There's, I know there's a lot of good people out there, but I think the amount of people who have fallen off the edge and just gone to the bad side, I think that's growing. There's a lot of anger out there that I see. And I think there's some dark clouds on the horizon, and hopefully everyone's going to be able to overcome that. But I'm concentrating on, gathering family and friends and having everybody aware and just, not planning for it, but being prepared for things getting a lot worse than they have been.
Oh, absolutely. And what about you, Barry?
Well, as far as I'm kind of with Joe, I'm happy with who I am, but I'd like to stop saying, I like to say no a little bit more to certain things, because I just get too involved with too many things. I'd like to concentrate on a few things. We talked about developing some different type of equipment this year, taking into the far a little bit farther and more in depth with some stuff, and I'm worried about the part about where national disasters, just because of what I deal with the abductees and all the odd dreams that they've had and some of the things that they've seen, and they all related it for the last 2 years to 2021. So I have that in the back of my head, and I want to be very careful with that, and I think that it's important that some people are aware that what may happen. It scares me. I'm glad you're doing what you're doing to be prepared. I think it's some things that people need to do to watch what happens after the start of the year. I always believe that there's a battle that goes on between things to see who's going to rule the earth at a certain time. And it normally ends by April, and hopefully whoever takes that over will be kinder to us all. But it's going to be scary times in my book, and I think that it's got to do with people, and I think that people need to become more aware. I like the part where Arnold is meditating more, becoming more grounded. I think that's important also for everybody to be able to do that. And it's something that we do need to do. And be nicer to everybody. Try to be nice. Just get out of this thing where it's all based on hate, because we're not all about hate. We're not about that. Most people are not that way. Don't be tricked into believing some of the things that you're seeing and some of the things that are going. And it all depends on where they want to take it, because we are in a battle. We are in a battle versus good versus evil. And I think it exists. So I'll be prepared for that.
Yeah, and I'm going to touch a little bit on what all of you said, because meditation and grounding is important. one, it keeps you calmer. It opens you up to information that you maybe need to get. It protects you, and it brings you more at peace with the trying times that may or may not come. As far as preparedness, so in the community we live in, we push emergency action plans. That's what we do. That's along with the paranormal, homeland security issues are what we work on, both on this show and in our community up here. And I think I pushed out 30 emergency action plans information out since last night to families up here. Mm-hmm. So it's, and like I said earlier in the show, a lot of city folks move up here. They've never experienced a winter in the mountains, and it does scare them. Knowing what you need to do to prepare is important. The information I push out, it doesn't matter if you live in this community, Australia. A disaster is a disaster, so it's all the same information. So if anyone outside this community that listens to S4 needs emergency action plans and information, you can always send me an email. Most of you know how to contact me on this show. Throw me a friend request on Facebook. Either way, we can get you an emergency action plan. Mm-hmm. And again, next week we will be talking a lot more about civil unrest is potentially coming.
26.
Pointy sticks, absolutely. And run. Pointy sticks, run, and grab your bag.
You're making my resolution pretty hard with that first show.
Huh?
You're making my resolution pretty hard with that first show.
Well, so my personal resolution, I do want to study more on the Norse, more on the North side of paganism, because that is a side that I don't know much about. And yeah, so as you said, you can contact us through s-4radio.com, and I can send me an email, and we can get you the information through email. But I do want to get in better shape. I need to get my kids back into better shape. We, there for a while in 2020, we were actually doing push-ups and sit-ups, and then we kind of stopped. I want to get back into push-ups and sit-ups, and yeah. And hiking. But it's been raining here. I don't hike in the rain unless I really have to. And if I really have to, then I probably got a big old bag and a gun, and we're hauling ass somewhere. So, yeah, and I do want to get out and look for Bigfoot more. I think that as a team, that's what we're going to do more.
Nice.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. And no, you're not going to tie me up to a damn tree and put honey on me for Bigfoot to get.
Sure.
That don't work.
Aw, come on.
And we need to get Arnold and his wife up here.
Yep.
So they can go Bigfoot hunting with us.
My resolution is to stop fucking swearing on this show so much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try. That was my last one.
Okay.
I am not for 1 year. 2021.
Oh, you lied.
The year of clean talk.
You were not going to cuss on the show anymore?
I'm going to try.
Okay.
I'll take a side bet on that.
Come on.
Well, I remember, 2019 coming in 2020, we said, screw it, it's no holds barred, we're just going to cuss.
Well, I will say, depending on how February 7th goes, if the Seahawks make it to the Super Bowl, February 7th, I might lose.
One thing I want to say to Arnold, it's when you're talking about those loud knocks on the outside of your house and everything else, as you move towards inner peace and bringing that more forward and being more grounded and everything else, it also comes, you also are building protection around it. And there are things and entities that may not be able to approach your house because you're doing this, which is great. But they will bang and knock on the outside of your house. We've had that happen. I've seen it happen to a lot of people who get more involved in the spiritual side of their being and bringing that up. And we had it happen, 8 years ago at my house. Sound like cannon fire hitting the house. Other people around, the same thing happens. And I do believe that, they want you to realize that they're out there. But also at the same time, they can't enter your home because you're building that in it, which is great. I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but there are boundaries that they will not go. And they also, if you're out there with them or you go out to investigate a lot of it, that's the thing that you need to maybe just kind of say, it's better to stay in the house and just stay that way. But I'll leave that up for the other people's opinion.
I am super excited about 2021. We got a lot of stuff in the works for 2021 with S4 and all that jazz. And actually, as of January 4th, let's see, Izzy, Cassandra, and me are opening our own business. So it's Red Rover Tax Services. It's
and
in
notary.
Cedar Woolley. What?
And notary.
Yes, and notary services as well. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the year, and I'm excited to see how this goes. It's going to be great.
And on that, it really doesn't matter. They will take your tax information nationwide, as long as it's in the United States, only in the United States. You just call their number, and they will walk you through the portal, and they can actually do your taxes. Doesn't matter where you're at.
Yep, anywhere in the U.S. Yep.
And that's RedRoverTaxServices.com. And yeah, we're excited about that. Pushing that forward as well. January 4th, they open up. It's going to be an interesting tax year with unemployment, with stimulus checks coming out, things like that. And I know a lot of people are going to want to file their taxes early just because they want the refund.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Now with S4, you can expect some new guests on the show. There's a couple companies that want to hit up for as sponsors. So we'll see where that goes. And you can just expect different topics, and we'll be reporting them as we go into 2021 for sure. And I like I said, I do hope to get out and do some more field work this year. Looking for Bigfoot, looking at UFOs, and reporting some new stuff.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Go ahead, Ed.
It'll be interesting because I think this year I'm going to apply some of the paranormal how you hunt spirits for hunting fae. I think it'll be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is an interesting part because they're out here.
Well, I think this year on S4 we do want to have a lot more fae on the show.
These learn for you guys.
That's definitely an area that a lot of people don't learn about, and they're definitely out there. We've had cases with them. I think we want to hit some fae topics a lot more in 2021 on S4. So for our listeners too, if you have a guest you want to hear on the show, if you have a topic you want to hear on the show, again, go to our s-4radio.com and throw us an email.
Absolutely.
The other thing I'd like to do is see if we can actually investigate a few of the older places in our area.
So,
some of the original homesteads.
And thank you for saying that, because I wanted to say, along with the expeditions we're doing, if you live in Skagit County and you are having an issue in your home, we will come out and check it out. I'll go that far. But we aren't an emergency response team like we used to be. But starting 2021, we will actually come out and check out, especially if you're in the East County area. We're here to help you out.
I need you to come to Kentucky.
What?
Okay, room and board and airfare, and I'm there. No.
There you go. We can handle that.
Absolutely.
You can tie a coal to a tree near a sinkhole.
Yeah, we're all. I got a perfect one to tie it to.
I'm never going to get away from this that I'm the bait.
Nope. So with that, folks, and Barry, who you have on the show this week?
This week on Tuesday, we got a special show where, as I said, we were going to go black this week, but we've decided, got some great information on the topic of UFOs. An abductee who's done some real incredible research and then has dealt with some interesting things going in, and we're going to be talking about all the stuff that he's brought up. And I think it's going to be a great show. So tune in on Parahouse TV, and it will be on YouTube, and you can also catch it on parahouse.com. So you'll see it at several places, and we'll be looking at the next year coming up for 2020-21 and what will happen to Into the Far and where we may end up at. So,
sounds good. Excellent. So, next week, like I said, we'll be talking active shooter and how to respond to an extremist attack. So, have a safe week this week. Keep your head down. Keep your head on a swivel. Stay safe. And remember, keep your eyes to the skies.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight on S4, the official voice of Forest Moon Paranormal. You can contact S4 through our website at www.s-4radio.com or on Facebook. Make sure you give us a like on our page and join the Forest Moon Paranormal group. If you are interested in advertising, take a look at our packages and contact Cole or Eric at 1-360-999-2830. Again, thank you. And remember, keep your eyes to the sky.